Hi, it's Kristen, and I'm going book shopping today because it's my birthday. I'm gonna just go into town generally and do a bit of shopping, but I have quite a lot of points on my Waterstones card, so I thought I will definitely go to Waterstones, pick myself up maybe a book or two. Heart the Lover recently came out, and I really want to get my hands on that. Um, so I'm gonna go to Waterstones for that and then see if anything else catches my eye. Because if I just use the points on my card, then it feels like I'm not really spending money. I also go into a couple of other places. There's a really nice independent bookshop in town that sells books, but also has a lot of candles and some nice jewelry from other small independent businesses that the bookshop has collaborated with to stock up. So I thought I might just see what they have as well. And I thought I'd take you with me. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this, if I'm just going to get b-roll and then I might do a voiceover or something talking through what I'm doing, because I don't know that I'll be in shops talking to camera. So we will see how this goes. But yeah, come with me on my birthday book shopping trip.
When I got to town, the first place I went for books was The Works, because I thought I could find something in the deals that they normally have on, but sadly it was shut. So I headed to Waterstones instead to use the points I have on my Waterstones Plus card. I did go with the intention of buying Heart the Lover by Lily King, as I was really excited to get to that. Sadly, it wasn't in the buy one get one half price deal, which was a bit annoying because they also had the new paperback editions of Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, which I was also very excited to read, but that also wasn't in the buy one get one half price deal, which is a shame because if they had both been in that deal, I would have bought them both. But I did get a couple of other things from those buy one get half price tables anyway, which I'll show you at the end. And then I made my purchases. I left Waterstones and I headed to the Haunted Bookshop, which is a witchy bookshop that also sells a lot of witchy decor and knickknacks and things. And I love the vibe of the shop. However, recently they've had less and less books on their shelves. So I didn't buy anything in there, even though I had intended to. But then I headed to a brand new bookshop that's recently opened. It was the first day of opening when I went in, and that's the Bookseller, a new bookshop that sells all sorts of fiction and non-fiction, and also sells wine. They also had a little cafe. I think they sell coffees and stuff as well. I feel like I need to go back on not opening day when perhaps it'll be a bit quieter and get more of a feel for how everything's laid out.
Back from town now. Not as successful of a book shopping experience as I'd hoped, to be honest. At first I went to the Works and the door was boarded up, it's been smashed or something, so it wasn't open, and I was hoping to go in there because they don't have the widest selection, but they always have good deals on, and I found a few things in there before for very low prices, fun little romance books or thrillers and stuff. But yeah, couldn't go in there because it's boarded up. So then I went to Waterstones, got a couple of things in the buy one get one half price. I found one book I really wanted and then was sort of hunting around for a second book in the deal and managed to find something. So I got those. And then I went to the Haunted Bookshop
and they didn't have a great selection, and a lot of the like cool jewellery that I'd seen online was gone, so they'd obviously sold it. And then I went to a new bookshop that's literally open today. I was quite busy in there. I didn't spend a ton of time, and also I was getting hungry, and so I thought I'd just come home and have some lunch. And yeah, still got a couple of books and bought a couple of other things.
Just to recap my birthday book shopping experience, I had the intention in my mind of like going to town and buying like not a ton of books, but like several as like a birthday treat. That didn't really happen. I bought a couple. I headed to Waterstones to see what they had in their like buy one get one half price sale. I was using up points that I already had on my card, so I was like, I'm not actually spending any money in Waterstones because my Plus membership card has quite a lot of points on it, so I'm like covered basically by like several books worth if I wanted to get them. I always love to just walk around Waterstones, even though I don't read like a ton of YA anymore, and I only really read middle grade with my work book club. I still love going to the YA middle grade sections and just like seeing what they have, and because those sections are always like so bright and colourful, and I really just love the vibe of walking around. I also looked at some board games and things. Checked out the sci-fi fantasy horror section, which I often frequent when I go with my sister. That's always fun to check out. Got a lot of B-roll, as you'll have seen, and I really sort of wanted to go and just like pick up something random that I potentially hadn't heard of before, or that I'd heard of but didn't really know much about, and just go by like covers and see what caught my eye, which is what happened last year. I ended up buying a book I had heard about but hadn't necessarily intended to buy. I sort of impulse bought it, and then I picked up a book that I'd literally never heard of, and bought that as well, which was fun last year. But this year I wasn't finding anything that was grabbing my attention. So then I went to like the crime thriller section because I was thinking I wanted something thrilling and fun. But I don't always love buying thrillers like full price because it's like you only really get one or two reads out of them. So then I went back to the buy one get one half price tables, and I noticed Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is Holly Jackson's adult debut. She's previously only written YA. She's the author of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Five Survive and The Reappearance of Rachel Price, all of which I own. I love the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Five Survive was alright. Reappearance of Rachel Price was alright. But I've heard really good things about this one. So I was going to buy this at some point, regardless. And again, I thought this might be one that I would see in Sainsbury's, but since it was in the deal, I was like, a deal is a deal. So this is about a woman who like gets hit over the head or gets attacked or something, and then it turns out that she has like a brain hemorrhage or some sort of brain injury because of that, and the doctor's like, you are gonna die in a week's time. Like, very sorry to tell you, but that brain injury will lead to your death very soon. And so she decides that if she has a week left to live, she's going to work out who assaulted her and basically work out her own murder before she actually dies. That premise sounds really fun. I've heard such good things. When I saw it was in the deal, I was like, I'll get that. Let me just find another book to go with it. So then I was searching around the tables. There were a few things I was like mildly interested in, but didn't know if I really wanted to buy. It was a book that a friend had mentioned to me that she owned, but it wasn't really a recommendation from her because it was a book that was on her TBR, so she'd not actually read it. She was just excited to read this book. So I did like look a few things up for their ratings, and that one didn't have a great rating, so I didn't end up going for that. So again, I was hunting around, but the fiction tables just weren't doing it for me, or the books within the buy one get one half price deal weren't ones that I necessarily wanted to own if I did read them. And so then I thought, let me just check out the non-fiction table, because I don't read a ton of non-fiction, but I do sometimes read non-fiction. And on that table I saw a couple of books I've already read, like memoirs, which I enjoyed, but I was like, I've read them, I don't feel the need to own them. And then I saw The New Age of Sexism by Laura Bates. This is about like the AI revolution and how AI and like tech like that is really playing into perpetuating sexism and misogyny. She's talking about metaverse, deep fake pornography, like AI girlfriends, online sexual abuse, all those sorts of things. I read Laura Bates last year and it was my favourite book of the year. And this just feels so timely to read. So I wanted to get this anyway, and I thought, if it's in the deal, I'll get them both. Yes, I'm buying 2 books that I already knew I wanted to get at some point, but here's an opportunity to get them in a deal. So then I went to buy these books, went up to the counter, and the woman at the counter was like scanning my card and stuff, and she said, I've heard really good things about this one. I was like, oh yeah, me too. She was like, yeah, I really want to read it, but also I was like, yeah, that's sort of how I feel. Like, I do really want to read this, and I really like Laura Bates. I think she's a great writer, and I'm so interested, and it feels like, yeah, very prevalent at the moment in society, but also like it's gonna be a read, because it's gonna be heavy, it's gonna piss me off. But yeah, it feels important to read, and I'm excited to get to it. So those are the 2 books I ended up getting in Waterstones. Then I went to the Haunted Bookshop, which is a little witchy bookshop that sells like other little witchy items as well. And I was like a little bit disappointed, because I really like the shop and I've been to like book clubs there before, I've bought books there before, but at this point, because she's collaborated with so many of the small businesses in the area, which makes sense as a small business. A lot of small businesses are struggling, so collaboration is really great. But she had so much stock that wasn't books that there were only like 2 shelves in the whole shop that actually had books on them. And one of those shelves was like half taken up by just Sarah J Maas. So there wasn't a great selection of books to look at. So then I did look at like stationery and jewelry and stuff. There was nothing that was really catching my eye in there. So I didn't buy anything there, which is a shame. And I went on up the road, like a minute walk up the road. There's a brand new independent bookshop that's opened called The Bookseller, which is like a books and wine place, and it was their opening day. So I went in there and it was nice. They had like a lot of popular fiction and non-fiction books, kind of books you'd see in, I think, a lot of bookshops. It was not like wildly busy, but it was fairly busy, which was nice to see that people were visiting. But considering it was their opening day, there wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't feel like a sense of celebration. Like, I was sort of expecting like a big, you know, banner and like bunting and balloons maybe to be like, it's the opening weekend, but it just sort of felt like a quiet bookshop vibe. But they were serving like teas and coffees, and they had like a whole display of wine, and I do love the concept of books and wine, and they seem to be doing a lot of like events like quiet reading hours, quizzes, so I might have to like go back there another day or like see if I can join in with some sort of activity there and get like a proper sense of the place, because yeah, it was quite busy and there were a couple of dogs in there, and so I didn't hang around for too long, because also at that point it was like lunchtime and I was getting hungry and I thought I'd just go home. So my birthday book shopping extravaganza turned into me getting 2 books. But I'm not mad about it. These are both books that I've wanted to own and I've been like waiting for them to come out in paperback. And so finally I have them, so that's good. So not like a complete waste of a book shopping trip. So that is it for my birthday book shopping. I do also sort of feel like, because I didn't buy a ton of books on that one day, that maybe like throughout the month, if I see books in like deals, maybe in like supermarket, like I said, I can like treat myself here and there. And I do know that next month, I think in the UK is like independent bookshop week. So maybe I'll like save myself and then that week I'll do a bit more like book shopping out and about, and maybe I'll vlog that as well, so that there's another bookshop vlog coming soon to you. Let me know if you've read or own either of these down below. I'd be interested. Have you done any book shopping recently? What's like the most exciting book that you've bought, or what are you looking forward to buying that maybe hasn't come out yet? Do let me know down below, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!